Hey T fam, welcome to the live stream. If you're just joining, we're diving into Belle Collective Season 6, Episode 4, and honey, the drama is too thick tonight. Now, I know I was supposed to come on sooner, but I had some family business to tend to. But let's get into this, okay? Let's get into it, all right? All right, here we go. Deep in the glorified screens, it's a party inside. Sometimes you need solutions, and sometimes it's just a vibe. In good chat therapy. So y'all, welcome to the live, or if you're on the replay, welcome. Let's get into it. So y'all, I do love this show. I couldn't wait to get into it. So happy to be here to do it. But anyway, so y'all, we open it up, or the show opens up at the pool party that Miss Latrice was having. So Latrice had a pool party for the couples. Everybody looked cool in their little clothes. So they all sit on the couch around and playing a little couple game like they do. And then the oddest question came about, are you attracted to anybody in this group? Now, before we get into it, y'all, are you like, that was going to pop off some mess. What? And the fact that Amanda or Mandy, whatever she goes by, the fact that she said something, I thought, oh, so disrespectful. But we're gonna get into it. So that's kind of how it popped open, how the scene kind of just popped up. That's how we started out. And it escalated from there, honey. That's when all the tea, all the things came about. So yeah. So anyway, y'all. Um, so um of course, Letitia is so upset, right? Because Letitia's been through a lot with Glenn, so she's in her feelings, she's upset, all these things. And I know she was embarrassed, because I would have been embarrassed and pissed off. But what she did do that I thought was classy, she said, "Hey, let's go talk about this like right now." And so she took Miss Mandy outside and said, "Let's talk about this thing." So they went outside to talk about it. And she was showing her all the different messages and that kind of stuff. And while that is all going on inside, hope I didn't get it kind of confused, but anyway, her wife was talking about, yeah, you're in the DMs and blah, 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 blah. So she was messy too, girl. She was so messy. And by the way, Mandy's wife, or whatever her name is, honey, boy, she was getting at Glenn like she was like about ready to get with him. So I was like, okay, not like that way, but like she was bowdy, bowdy. Anyway, she was rowdy. She was getting with him. But anyway, so I thought, wow. So the drama, everything absolutely exploded. You could tell that Letitia was totally upset. So then they walk outside. She addresses Glenn immediately. I do love that about it. I was here for all of that, honey. She went straight to Glenn to address it. And Glenn was just like, trying to stay cool. And his boys around him was like, oh, don't make it worse, blah, 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 blah. Of all the people to be telling him, of all the people. As in Cliff was telling him to basically chill out, stay calm. But anyway, it kind of goes on there. So they kind of going back and forth and what's happening, this, that, and the third. And then this scene kind of went from one scene to the other, but the whole point at the pool party, they were trying to establish the dates because that Glenn and Letitia had just got back together at the early part of the year, and the text messages came around the same time, and so she was trying to put two and two together and figure out if these were actually legit or like what was going on. So, nevertheless, y'all, the dates weren't jiving, but it was so messy. So, before we go on further into the next scene and for other things, here's the thing that stuck out for me. So, Latrice said her team put the questions together, right? I thought to myself, if that's true, girl, didn't you like read the questions before we started? It didn't dawn on you. She was like, her team did it. I'm like, okay, girl. And then other part about this I thought was a little weird about this whole gathering at the pool party is that before the pool party or the whole time, you could hear Latrice just making different comments, talking about how uh, Glenn was acting a certain way and how he was doing all these things behind Latrice's back, Letitia's back, excuse me. And I was like, oh, okay. And honestly, I kind of missed it at first because I went back to watch it again so I could take my good notes. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But so to me, it did appear to be, it looked like a setup. Like, why would she have all these people there? But then we got to think about it, y'all. Everybody's drinking, all the good drinks are going on, all these things. So then let's move on, okay? So let's say everybody finally goes home, the big bombshell, da 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 da. Oh, yeah, one more piece that I thought was tacky. Um, Miss Amanda gonna say, or Miss Mandy gonna go, well, yeah, he's always coming at me, blah, 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 blah. And I thought, girl, are you trying to break up their marriage? I mean, she can't break it up, but, Glenn did a good job of that. But then she gonna say she could have had him. Now, woof, I had to, that stood out to me because let me tell you something. Letitia handled it like an absolute classy lady because I don't know. I don't know how that would have did it. She handled it very classy, honestly, to be told. To be so angry, considered all the things she's been through with Glenn, I think she handled that. She handled herself pretty well. She tried to handle it in private, but because she was busted out in public and embarrassed at the pool party, it had to be addressed. But so y'all, okay, let's move on to the next. So, and this is just a clip of remember the wife. How the wife, I just had to show you this. How she was bucking up on Glenn. Girl, that's a mess right there. I was like, child. She was giving him the business about those DMs. I was like, ooh, Glenn, Glenn, Glenn. Okay, so let's move on. Let's see. So we're gonna talk about. Oh yeah, the other part I thought was really sweet. Let's flip on to the next scene. I thought this was really sweet. So after the following day, looks like Glenn had went to work, and so Letitia didn't have a chance to talk to him. And the girls came over. Her bestie Marie and Miss Carrie came over, and I guess Marie don't really care for Carrie that much, but we know why she don't really care for her that much because, Carrie was messing talking about Marie's outfit because she said she liked a spacesuit. She did like a spacesuit, in my opinion, but anyway, that's why she don't like her that much. But yeah, so anyway, they go over to console her, take her flowers and all of that. I think that was precious, and that's what real girlfriends do for each other. That's what real girlfriends do. So they go over and they have a chit chat with her, talk to her to console her. And baby, she had her eyelashes off, as in Letitia took her eyelashes off, and she could tell she was really over it. Okay, she's just, I mean, and she should be. She should be over. This has been a whole thing, and Glenn has put her through a lot, y'all. He has for sure. So the girlies are sitting there talking on the couch, and they're just kind of consoling her and telling her, yeah, that how she handled it very well. And then um, Marie goes because Marie, you can tell Marie don't like Amanda because she goes, I told you she was a snake, and you keep giving her chance after chance. But y'all told you she was a snake, so she ain't having it. She's already over it. And so yeah, so that's how that went. But then yeah, and then so then Miss Carrie just basically told her, hey, I like the way you handled yourself. You handled yourself really well. Just like the collective, you handled yourself like a Belle. You did a great job. And so they're just gonna sit there and kind of chit chat around, trying to console her, make her feel better. And they kind of hugged on her, loved on her, which I think was absolutely precious. I was here for all of the love. Okay, love, love, and all the things. Okay. So then we got Miss Latrice. Okay. Then we got Miss Latrice, who, well, before we get to that, before we get to Miss Latrice, I want to say that Latrice was talking about her husband. And she, you know what, she kind of mentioned that he was staying at the bachelor pad above Taste. Uh-huh. And so she was thinking, yeah, they're gonna blame me, da 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 da. So that's what she was saying. But you know what? The thing about that is that whole thing with her, with him, Cliff staying at the Taste, in the bachelor pad. That is so suspect. You know what? I'm gonna finish because I got my thoughts about this whole thing. Like, why does he have such a big, nice house, a beautiful woman, but he ain't coming home? Those are so many red flags, and I feel like Latrice is almost in absolute denial. Like she's like, "Oh, we're doing good, honey." Da 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 da. It feels like she's in such denial about that thing. She really is. So Um, anyway, Latrice is just talking about how the team came up with the questions. I think I touched on it already. And I was just wondering why she didn't read the questions before they asked them at the little gathering. And so Amanda and Latrice meet for coffee, and Amanda apologizes, and about the whole thing about what she said out loud, and then they're like maybe it's the alcohol, but then she goes no, if it wasn't the alcohol, I still shouldn't have said it. I mean, but you said it, so to me, you could have kept it to yourself. She said that was intentional. She is messy. Okay, in my opinion, she is so messy. Like that was so intentional. Um, yeah, she also mentioned to Miss Letitia, excuse me, I always do that. Y'all keep getting their names. Latrice. Amanda mentioned Latrice that Glenn had his hands around her waist at the Taste. And the whole thing was they supposed to had been dancing together. But the whole point was like I don't know what's going on between him and her, as in Glenn and Letitia. I mean Glenn and Amanda. But Glenn, I don't know. Glenn, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to say, but Glenn has put Letitia through a lot, for real. The baby, a possible baby, the women. So, this was a whole mess, but it was good drama. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. So then we're gonna roll into our girl, Miss Carrie, because Carrie is another one. Now Carrie's whole storyline. At first, y'all, when I saw her storyline, I thought her storyline was kind of boring, to be honest. Her and her husband met. I thought, well, why are they really on the show? Because they don't really have no true drama. But they do. If you look at it, they do. So Carrie, honey, she worried about her husband. She is. But I will say this: they're a good looking couple, have a cute little family. But Carrie seems to be so occupied with her businesses and stuff. She ain't paying attention to her man, in my opinion, like she should. I'm just saying. And it appears that she wasn't really giving him a lot of attention until the show, till they came out. So she was doing it for the show. I mean, I'm not saying she didn't love him, but it's clear that she was just, making sure she did what she needed to do, stay on the show. But I think also the whole incident that happened at the pool party, I think that sparked something in her. Like she better go get her man, her man. She said my man, but yeah, cause she tripping. So she basically, made like a little brunch situation. I don't really know what time it was. I'm gonna say it must have been like brunch because the way it was set up in the daytime and it was like in the backyard. But she surprised her man Matt, and she probably should have. And I thought it was surprised. I think that part was really cute. It was really sweet. So kudos to that, for trying to work on her marriage. But one thing that stuck out for me in that episode, or that not episode, but that moment, is when he said, this was the nicest thing she had ever done, and they've been together for years. And I said, this is the nicest thing she's ever done. Girl, she needs to step her game up. I was like, girl, you need to step your game up, honey. No, ma'am. You should not be out here with all that. But she did. She surprised him, though. She did. She did surprise him, so she tried it. And then let's roll back over here again to Miss Latrice. Now, like I said before, this whole thing, Latrice is saying they're gonna blame her and all this kind of stuff. But honestly, Latrice, this was really, really messy. And I didn't realize how messy Latrice was. I've been watching the show, but I mean, I have to remember she is pretty messy. This says a lot. I mean, Latrice had to know if Amanda was gonna be there, something might pop out. I know Amanda is her buddy, and so is Letitia. But like, you know that like she kind of knew. She had to know that was gonna be a problem. And honestly, another thought that crossed my mind is because they keep talking and referencing the saying that Cliff is staying on top of the restaurant in a little bachelor pad. I really do think that she's deflected. I do. I think she's deflected and she's not focused on her own marriage. That's what I think. And I think that she is just trying to cope and deal with why Cliff is not coming home. You gotta think about it. Like for real. She's a beautiful woman. They got a nice house. And he doesn't want to. Why is he not at home? What is Cliff doing? What's at work? It's just something about it. And I think that eventually something else is going to come out about that because she seems to be hopeful and they're going to make it and this, that, and the third. But we're going to see because it's looking a little suspect. But anyway, yeah, that's just, let's see. And so, yeah, before we get to this other scene, um, Letitia's dad came over and he was helping Glenn do some repairs in the home. And Letitia was sitting around, and obviously she's still down about the whole situation. And I feel for her. I do. I felt her. She was crying. I was like, oh my goodness. Because, if you watch it, we've seen her cry and cry and cry. And I don't know about that Glenn. But what I did find kind of crazy is Letitia's dad was like, Glenn was a good man and the Lord gonna see him through. Now, I'm not talking about the Lord. I'm just talking about the fact that, how did he get good man? I don't see how he came up with good man in the equation. I'm serious. I was like, what? The way he been running around on her, that is crazy to me. That was crazy talk. But then her, Glenn, and Letitia finally have a powwow talk. They finally settle down, and then the next thing you know, we're back to Letitia crying and all the things. And I feel for her because she clearly loves Glenn. And it almost looks like she's kind of trapped. Like she feels like she just seems like she's trapped. Because there was one point we thought she was free of Glenn and she was going to move on her life and she was being fancy free. I think she made, like she said, she stepped out and dated a little bit. And, but yeah, it just seemed like she's trapped. And Glenn. I mean, Glenn needs to learn to control himself. He definitely has an issue. And I ain't trying to be judgmental, but he has an issue. He doesn't know how to deal with women. Women are gonna always be in his DM. You guys are on TV. It's not that they just really want you, but the fact that you're on TV and you're a woman, you have a woman. I mean, that's how that is. It's people who always want what they can't have. Clearly, most of the time, that's how that happens. But they talked about Letitia was crying again. She's consoled and she broke down. So she's done a lot of crying. And she was just like, I'm tired of people playing in my face. So that's pretty what I got out of this episode. Now, this episode was really, really good. But like I said, I do think that like from the beginning, like at the pool party, the questions and all of that, at first I really was thinking it was Latrice that did it, but then it could be that the production team they actually came up with these questions because this sparked the whole thing. Like it seemed like it was a setup, and it did feel like a setup, and I felt so bad for Letitia. But another note, Letitia was like she wished people would leave her alone, this, that, and the third, and I get that because it does. Like again, I'm going to go back to the word setup. It did seem like a setup. However, everything can be a setup. Glenn gonna have to take some responsibility, honey. And he just, I don't know. They've been going back and forth for quite some time. She can't blame everything on the setup. At some point, he has to stay out of DMs And if a woman reaches out to him, and more women will reach out because they're watching this show, they're going to reach out. He needs to have self control. I mean, maybe he needs to figure out what he can put on his phone to block or just not be able to get DMs or something for real. So anyway, y'all, it was really a good episode. It was a bunch of drama. Like I really enjoyed it. Um, but we're gonna see what happens next, and then maybe Tamara's gonna come on the next episode because we didn't see a lot of Miss Tamara. I like Tamara. We didn't see a lot of her, and I look forward to seeing her. And then Selena was with her daughter who was having twins, or one of her twins was having a baby, so she wasn't on there. So well, she was there for no, she's not really. She really went on there, so she'll be on the next episode. But then the girls are getting ready to plan a trip, so that's gonna be good. It should be juicy. But for the most part, it was really, really good. I just hate to see I hated to see Letitia cry. I really did. Like she could cry like a big baby. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I know I'm kind of all over the place, so I just want to touch on a couple more things. But also another thing that makes me side eye someone is Marie's ex-husband. I side eye him. I mean, I'm not gonna say why I'm side eye him, but I don't know. You know what, y'all? It seems like he doesn't seem like he's to me. He don't seem like he really like his name is Cedric. Cedric don't seem like he really into the relationship like that. To me, he don't. He's just in it just to be da 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 da. And Marie, she broke up with her boyfriend. What I don't know, it was 2 episodes ago, but here recently, I don't know which episode, y'all. I'm just coming in. I don't know which. I think it was last time she broke up with the little guy, but I don't know about Cedric. I'm signing on Cedric. So honestly, let me just run it back for y'all. I'm signing on Cedric, and I'm not a man basher either. I have Cedric. I'm signing on him. I'm definitely signing on Cliff, and Glenn is leading the pack. The only dude on the whole show to me that could possibly be trust. I'm serious. Is Matt, and that's only because we only know so much. But Matt tried to stay out the way. He's just trying to tell his wife that she needs to show up for him. But yeah. But anyway, y'all, it was good. I enjoyed it. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Like, are you team Latrice? Do you think she had every right to be upset and all that? Are you team Latrice or team Letitia? Excuse me, Letitia was upset. You think she has a right to be upset? Or are you team Latrice? Let me know whose team you're on, if you're on anybody's team. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm on team Letitia, but I'm gonna say this. I hope her and Glenn make it, but I don't know. I don't know. Glenn has been cheating since day one and continues to cheat. And the fact that something else came up after they finally devoted themselves to each other says a whole lot. So anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. I'm sorry I couldn't come live earlier, okay? But y'all be sure to stay. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. I'm gonna try to go live earlier on the next episode so we can really get into it. But your comments are welcome, okay. As I always say, y'all, we can't change anyone else, only can change ourselves. Focus on the things you can control and not on things you can't. I'll be back with another one. Thank you and goodbye. Smooches. Oh, yeah, y'all. Don't forget to hit the like button for me, okay? And I'll be back. Bye.